बटन ही तो हो, बड़े देखे तुम्हारे जैसे। बटन ही तो हो, गोल मटोल से। न जाने कितने संभाले मैंने कमीज कुर्तियों पे। डराना मत, टांग दूंगी तुम्हें भी ऐसे।
अरे भेज दिया डैड ने यार। कहते जाओ पासबुक अपडेट करा के लाओ।
मिस्टर चिंटू, हेलो।
यू नो मी?
आपका पापा आपका पोस्टर स्टोरीज दिखाता रहता है। ए प्लीज प्लीज, यू प्ले वेल, आई मस्ट से। बेश भालो।
थैंक यू।
अपडेट?
हाँ। वैसे सब कुछ तो हो जाता है आपके ऐप पे।
हाँ।
तो फिर पासबुक के लिए बैंक क्यों?
वो भी दिख जाता है ऐप पे। पूछो।
पापा को बताऊंगा, बैंक ही नहीं आना पड़ेगा।
उन्हें सब पता है, वो फिर भी यहाँ आएंगे।
क्यों?
पासबुक तो घर पे दिख जाएगा, किंतु उनका जोक्स पे हंसने वाला यहीं मिलेगा।
रिश्ता आपसे है, सिर्फ ऐप से नहीं। फेडरल बैंक, योर परफेक्ट बैंकिंग पार्टनर।
नमस्ते जी, मैं मिसेस दुबे की मांग टीका। 16 श्रृंगार में सबसे ऊपर का स्थान है मेरा। मिस्टर और मिसेस दुबे ने मेरे सामने ही तो 7 फेरे लिए थे। अब सुनती हूँ कि दुबे जी को स्टार्टअप के लिए पैसे चाहिए। ऐसे समय में ये माथे की चीज को ही भूल गए। अरे फेडरल बैंक का गोल्ड लोन है ना, और मैं कोई हमेशा के लिए थोड़ी जाऊंगी। बिजनेस सेट हो गया तो फिर आ जाऊंगी। श्रृंगार में ऊपर हूँ तो जिम्मेदारी में पीछे कैसे हो जाऊं। फेडरल बैंक गोल्ड लोन्स, आपके सपने आपका सोना।
नमस्ते, मैं शुक्लायन की पायल, खरे सोने की। शादी में आई थी साथ, तब से इसी लॉकर में हूँ। पहनती भी नहीं है मुझे। सुना गुड्डू बड़ा हो गया है, बाहर भेज रहे हैं पढ़ाई के लिए। पैसों की कमी भी है। अरे मुझे बोल दिया होता। फेडरल बैंक दे रहा है ना गोल्ड लोन पर बहुत अच्छा ब्याज। मैं यहाँ बैठी हूँ, वहाँ बैठ जाती, 4 पैसे ही आ जाते। पायल का काम सिर्फ पाँव ही नहीं, हाथ बटाना भी है। फेडरल बैंक गोल्ड लोन्स, आपके सपने आपका सोना।
ಕೇವಲ ಆಪ್ ನೊಂದಿಗಲ್ಲ,
ना तर तुमच्याशी, ना केवळ ॲपशी।
સંબંધ આપની સાથે છે, માત્ર એપ સાથે નહીં।
সম্পর্ক আপনার সাথে, শুধু অ্যাপের সাথে নয়।
आज हाईवे पर मेरी गाड़ी बंद पड़ गई। पता है घर किसने छोड़ा? फेडरल बैंक ने। अब बैंक घर कैसे छोड़ता है ये आप सोच रहे होंगे। भाई बैंक लोगों से ही तो बनता है। मिल गए सूर्यानगर के ब्रांच मैनेजर मिस्टर अय्यर। पहचान लिया, घर तक लिफ्ट दे दी। बिल्कुल वैसे ही जैसे इनके ऐप पर बस एक टैप करके चेकबुक से लेकर सब कुछ घर छोड़ देते हैं, क्योंकि इनका रिश्ता आपसे है, सिर्फ ऐप से नहीं। फेडरल बैंक, योर परफेक्ट बैंकिंग पार्टनर। टू नो अस बेटर, विजिट federalbank.co.in।
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 92nd Annual General Meeting of the Federal Bank Limited. Request all participants to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Welcome once again. I'm Sameer Rasdev, Company Secretary of the bank, attending the meeting of the registered office of the bank in Alua. As we are conducting this AGM through video conference, please note that all the shareholders are kept on mute mode for smooth and seamless conduct of the meeting. Please also note that all the required registers like the register of directors, KMPs, contracts, arrangements and other documents required under the Companies Act are available for inspection. We will be able to provide copies of it based on a request through an email. Now, I cordially invite Mr. A.P. Hota, Chairman of the bank, who is attending the meeting from the registered office of the bank in Alua in Kerala, to preside over the meeting and to address the shareholders. Thank you. Over to you, Hota sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sameer. Good morning to all shareholders, the board members, and the other officials of the bank who are attending the 92nd Annual General Meeting of the bank. As the requisite quorum is present, I now call the meeting to order. Before we continue, I would like to request the participants for a few moments of silence in honor of all those who have left us during the year. Thank you. I now call upon the directors to introduce themselves. Mr. Sengupta.
Good morning. This is Siddharth Sengupta, Independent Director, logging in from Navi Mumbai.
Good morning, Manoj Fadnis, Independent Director, attending from Indore.
Mr. Sen.
You're on mute. Mr. Sen is on mute.
Good morning. This is Sudarshan Sen, Independent Director, joining the meeting from New York, United States.
Mr. Basu.
Good morning. This is Shankar Basu, joining this meeting from my office in Bangalore.
Mr. Munkur.
Morning. This is Ramanand Munkur, joining this meeting from my office in Bangalore.
Good morning, this is Sham here, joining the meeting from the registered office in Alua, Kochi.
Good morning, everybody. This is Shalini Warrior, Executive Director, joining the meeting from the registered office in Alua.
Harsh.
Good morning, everyone. This is Harsh Duggar, joining the AGM from Federal Bank office in Chennai.
Good morning, everyone. This is Venkatraman. I'm joining the AGM from the head office in Alua.
Let me once again extend a warm welcome to all our shareholders who joined us today for the AGM. The bank is conducting its fourth virtual annual general meeting in compliance with the applicable regulatory guidelines for conduct of AGM. The bank had provided the facility to all the shareholders of the bank to cast their votes electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice through remote e-voting from August 15 to August 17. These shareholders who have not cast their votes electronically through remote e-voting and who are participating in this meeting have an opportunity to cast their votes during the meeting through e-voting system provided by NSTL as per details mentioned in the AGM notice. The Board of Directors has appointed CS M. Damodaran, practicing company secretary, as the scrutinizer to supervising the e-voting process. The result of the voting of all resolutions would be announced by the bank within the regulatory timeline and would be made available in the bank's websites of stock exchanges of BSE and NSE, and on the NSDL website. The resolutions shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to receipt of requisite number of votes. The notice of convening the 92nd annual general meeting and the annual reports were already circulated to all the members, and hence all the resolutions of the 15 agenda items as set out in the notice of annual general meeting is taken as read. The shareholders are requested to note that there were no qualifications, observations, or comments on the financial statements or matters which had any adverse effect on the functioning of the bank mentioned in the audit report. Now I would come to the formal part of the chairman's address. Good morning, dear shareholders. I'm deeply honored and excited to be present before you as the chairman of Federal Bank on this momentous occasion, the 92nd annual general meeting. Let me begin by expressing my heartfelt appreciation for the invaluable guidance provided by our former chairman, Mr. C. Balagopal. Although I'm just 2 months old as chairman, I have 5 years of tenure in the board. Mr. Balagopal's sagacity has laid the groundwork for our incredible journey, a journey I had the privilege to witness during my tenure as a board member over these years. As we assemble here to reflect on accomplishments and advancements of the past fiscal year, I'm reminded of the indomitable spirit that characterizes the bank, enabling us to surmount significant challenges and emerge stronger. I feel your bank is one of the most resilient bank in the country, and you would possibly, it would be very interesting or possibly you would be delighted to know that today we are at a place. 5 years back, right on this day, the ground floor of this building was submerged in water. Just I was informed by MD and CEO. In fact, I find myself exceptionally delighted to take in the role as chairman at this juncture. There could not have been better time in history than this to lead Federal Bank. Our country, India, is currently experiencing an awe-inspiring growth narrative. It is projected that India will surpass Japan and Germany to claim the position of world's third largest economy by 2027. In the same vein, India's stock market is anticipated to become the third largest globally by end of this decade. This exceptional growth potential and the opportunities that will arise out of this scenario presents the bank with a unique opportunity to pursue our aspiration of building the most admired bank. Especially our recent achievements, the successful qualified institutional placement QIP and the issuance of preferential shares amounting to rupees 4,000 crores has helped fortify our capital base, which is the raw materials for the required growth. This empowers us to seize the opportunity that lie ahead, giving us the leverage to lead, innovate, and shape the future landscape of banking. Before we delve deeper into the bank's performance, which will be elaborated by our MD later, I wish to highlight some significant insights delivered by Shri Shaktikant Das, Governor, Reserve Bank of India. He emphasized the importance of governance practices for banking institutions. The guidance of the board is drive a culture where the expectation goes beyond baseline compliance and regulatory requirements and aim for higher best-in-industry standards. And this is what we strive for constantly at Federal Bank. Customer service, ethical employee behavior, data privacy, and cyber security are indeed the cornerstones that underpin our success. These pillars gain even greater significance amidst innovation, change, and disruptions. Over the years, the bank has nurtured and reinforced a robust internal control system. This system is fine-tuned to our risk appetite and mirrors our operations size, scale, and intricacies. The audit and inspection policy endorsed by the Board of Directors delineates the scope and authority of the internal audit functions. We have fortified our data privacy and cyber security measures to safeguard our customers' entrusted information. Our commitment to cutting-edge technology is matched by our dedication to ensuring the security of our customers' data. We have reinforced our audit mechanism to ensure independent oversight. Our supervisory functions stand as the final bastion, ensuring transparency and compliance across our operations. Through well-defined policies and training programs, we instill in our employees a sense of responsibility towards upholding the highest ethical standards. I envision Federal Bank not just as a financial institution, but as a catalyst for transformation in the entire banking sector. Our commitment to innovation, excellence, and ethics has propelled us to embrace digital era with open arms, and we are here to stay. Our digital at the fore, human at the core philosophy embodies our commitment to harness the power of technology while never losing sight of human touch that sets us apart. Our recent campaign, रिश्ता आपसे है, सिर्फ आपसे नहीं, exemplifies this blend beautifully, making banking more accessible, personal, and convenient. We seek to humanize banking in a digital landscape. We have embraced technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotic process automation to create personalized experiences for our customers, driven by insights gained from robust analytical capabilities. Through strategic partnership with diverse fintech companies, we have extended our reach to underserved segments, democratizing financial services across the country, extending our impact to underserved areas. This aligns perfectly with our expansion plans, which focuses on establishing 80 to 100 new branches annually over the next 3 years, with an emphasis on regions like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. These plans are grounded in the success of our recent branches, which have reached break-even status sooner than anticipated. The fiscal year 22-23 has been one of the monumental achievements for Federal Bank. We have set new records in terms of deposits, advances, total business, total income, net interest income, operating profit, and net profit. This exceptional performance has been driven by our customer-centric approach, strategic use of digital capabilities, robust financial management, and prudent risk management practices. Our commitment to innovation and forward-thinking strategies has been recognized through awards such as being named among top 50 India's best workplaces, building a culture of innovation by all, by Great Place to Work. Additionally, our efforts towards digital advancement were acknowledged with the Best Digital Banking Product Private Sector Bank Award for Federal Insta Loans at the Lantra Digital Lending Transformation Global Summit 2022. As we step into the future, we are excited by the possibilities lies ahead. Our journey to success is not merely built on numbers and profits. It rests on trust, integrity, and our unwavering commitment to stakeholders. Our value framework, built upon cares, C for commitment to excellence, A, agility, R, relationship orientation, E, ethics, and S, sustainability, cares, will ensure that we uphold the highest standards of conduct and nurture strong relationships with all stakeholders. We would be hosting our 100th AGM in 2031, just 8 years away. With all our growth engines working in full throttle, we are sure that by that time we will indeed be the most admired bank, not only on business size or geographical footprints or magnitude of operation, but also on quality of service and impact on the customers and society in general. We would be a leading player in green finance, riding on deep commitment to sustainability goals and sharp focus on technology-led innovative banking. Prominently, we acknowledge the need for continually reflect on the role of expectations of our governance architecture to ensure that Federal Bank remains a beacon of excellence during times of rapid change and uncertainty. I extend my deepest gratitude to our valued stakeholders for their unwavering support during the challenging times. Your trust and partnership have been crucial in our journey. I'm confident that our dedicated team's efforts will lead us to even greater heights as we continue on our path to becoming the most admired bank. Thank you for your time and continued support. Now I call upon Mr. Shyam Srinivasan, MD and CEO of the bank, to address the shareholders.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed shareholders, a warm and hearty welcome to the 92nd Annual General Body Meeting of Federal Bank. It is an honor to address all of you, our shareholders, as we come together to reflect on our journey that has led us to this point. My gratitude goes out to all of you, our royal shareholders who have stood by us all along, and also to our new investors who have come on board most recently during our well-subscribed QIP. I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed board for their steadfast support and guidance all along. And for leading the board as chairman for the past 2 years, it is with great appreciation that I extend my thanks to Mr. Balagopal. Looking ahead, I offer my sincerest congratulations to Mr. Hota, the father of NPCI, for taking on the role of the chairman of the board. I also thank my colleague Ashutosh Kajuria, whose term ended as executive director, but is agreed to stay on for a year or more to help mentor many of our colleagues. Thank you, Ashutosh. I also extend my warmest greetings and congratulations to Harsh Dugar for his well-deserved elevation to the position of the executive director on the board. Now let me delve into the core purpose of our gathering today, to present our bank's aspirations and to retrospectively examine the lessons garnered from the previous year. Our sights are set on working our way to be amongst the top 5 private sector banks in the country in terms of scale, size, and of course, to be the most admired bank. This we will ensure by fortifying our core, tapping into the mega trends, and thoughtfully investing in adjacencies. All this while we keep our eyes sharply pinned on delivering quality across the board. FY23, as we all know, was characterized by fragile economies, anxious geopolitical conditions, non-linear growth patterns, and incomprehensible index movements. Amidst these challenges, the resilience of the Indian economy shone brightest. While the world grappled with uncertainties, India remained steadfast as an economic stronghold. The resilience reflects our nation's adeptness in navigating complexities and advancing with unwavering determination. As noted in our annual report, I firmly believe that a new India is emerging in this dynamic world. as evidenced by the stability of our financial sector, backed by the foresight of our regulators, and aided by the remarkable resilience exhibited by our fellow countrymen. It is often quoted in the world of banking, numbers are our best friends. And I'm sure you all have had a chance and noticed in our annual report, the numbers arranged encouragingly well for us this past year. Despite the highly competitive environment in the banking industry that led to a war for customer deposits, we grew our deposits by 17% year on year. We also delivered an impressive 20% year on year increase in credit, clearly evidencing all-round market share gains. As a result, we achieved significant milestones with our annual profits surpassing 3,000 crores for the first time and our total business volumes crossing the 3.8 lakh crore mark. As I'm sure all of you have already acquainted yourself with the details of our annual report, which is now conveniently accessible on our website in an engaging and interactive format, I will avoid reiterating the subjects comprehensively covered within it. Instead, I would like to take this opportunity to share a theme that is central for our future plans, our focus on focus. Let me explain what I mean by FOCUS and what it stands for us, what it means for us. Fortification of our core. With the steady growth in business and the attendant complications that go with growth, fortifying our core is imperative. This notion of fortification is akin to strengthening the very essence of our identity. Just as a tree's strength and longevity stems from its roots, we are committed to fortifying the core elements that define us. This commitment to discipline will be the cornerstone of achieving the targeted outcomes and enhancing tangible value. The well-received Rishta campaign, launched earlier this year, reinforced our identity and Federal Bank's commitment in nurturing relationships, a reputation which has now become legendary. Our relentless commitment to creating an excellent workplace has been recognized by the Great Place to Work Institute, where we were the only bank, I repeat, the only bank from India to feature in Asia's top 100. Furthermore, we proudly boast of a diverse workforce with 41% of our employees being women and 24%, that's almost 1/4 of our branch network headed by women. And this number 10 years back was 27% of workforce as women, and the number of branches headed by women was less than 1/10. Our HR practices are evident in our industry-defying low attrition rate of 3.75%, which fares very well in an industry where attrition rates are soaring. On the digital front, we continue to be an innovation leader. This year's achievements include being the first bank to list our payment gateway on the new tax platform, launching two bus as a platform branches, and introducing cross-border BBPS services. We also successfully piloted India's first instant Kisan credit card in partnership with RBI's Innovation Hub, showcasing our embrace of cutting-edge technology. Digital transactions constituted 90% of our total transactions. To further enhance customer experience, our AI-powered customer support assistant, Fedi, handled 69% of customer queries. Our latest data suggests it's nearing 75% now, allowing us to reallocate resources more effectively for core business activities. Our online self-service portal, Fedi Point, adeptly processed 23 lakh customer requests, resolving issues seamlessly through technology-aided processes. Collaborative growth has been the cornerstone of our strategy. We've cultivated partnerships within the burgeoning fintech ecosystem in the country, enabling us to offer cutting-edge solutions. Our collaborations with over 75 fintech companies has positioned us as the preferred partner, living up to our brand name in this country. This helps fostering innovative solutions in areas like credit cards, personal loans, and investments. Through a network of branches, relationship managers, direct selling associates, and business correspondents, we've seamlessly integrated digital and fintech systems, effectively expanding our business reach to almost 18,000 of the 19,000 odd pin codes in the country. I repeat, we now reach out to almost 18,000 of the 19,000 pin codes in India today. Lastly, as a direct measure of the fortification is reflected in our NPA figures. Despite meaningful credit growth, we take pride in maintaining robust credit quality across segments. Maintaining a healthy credit quality remains a top priority, ensuring Federal Bank's sustainable growth. There are opportunities all around us. Opportunities. I've always believed that India, when plotted on an XY axis with 4 quadrants representing different population orientations, holds ample potential for multiple banks to tap into for many years to come. Opportunities are limitless in our country. However, identifying the quadrant with the highest growth potential is key. Business opportunities are the currency of growth. A commitment to recognizing and capitalizing on emerging prospects ensures continuous expansion. Embracing a mindset to pursue opportunities wisely positions us as agile navigators of the evolving market landscape. Businesses like MFI, gold, SME, unsecured lending are crucibles of growth. Our agility in recognizing and harnessing these prospects propels our expansion. We don't merely seize opportunities, we shape them into shareholder value. In the last year's AGM, I spoke about exploring new business opportunities and our ventures into credit cards, personal loans, commercial vehicles, construction equipment financing, and of course, microfinance. Our MFI business, you may have noticed, witnessed impressive growth of over 200% last year, facilitated by our own homegrown technology solution called FedMe. Similarly, the commercial vehicle and commercial equipment business registered 71% growth and ensured that we crossed the 2,000 crores lending figure in commercial vehicles. Let me turn to customer centricity, the third in the focus theme, customer centricity C. Customer centricity क्योंकि रिश्ता आपसे है. When it comes to our customers, they are more than just account holders. They are the North Star guiding our path. The experiences, needs, ambitions steer our direction. We've invested in the state-of-the-art integrated CRM solution that helps deliver smart customer experiences seamlessly across touch points. Our dedication to customer centricity shines through exceptional service and tailored solutions. Our journey's success is closely woven with the trust and satisfaction of our valued customers. Customer centricity isn't a mere strategy, it's ingrained in how we operate. Like Bill Gates once famously said, your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. This isn't just a quote, it's a philosophy we are trying to live by. In this era of digital dominance, we've taken, you may have noticed the theme of our annual report is about humanizing banking. We remain committed to being digital at the fore, human at the core, and to pursue NPS levels that make us future-proof. Let me turn to unsubscribing from dated mindsets. In a world where everyone is asked to like, subscribe, and follow, we are choosing to unsubscribe. To boldly go where no man has gone before is a famous catchphrase of the 90s. We are firm believers to be a cut above the rest. We must unsubscribe from the ordinary and take roads that are less traveled by. We believe in shedding dated mindsets, reaching untapped segments and markets. Sunsetting obsolete paradigms is crucial in a rapidly changing landscape. We empower our dynamic workforce to break free from traditional thinking, fostering innovation and forward thinking. The average age of Federal Bank employee is now around 36 years, which speaks for the fact that the thinking process of the bank is new age. This approach of infusing younger employees into the workforce is in line with the plan to make Federal Bank a hub of creative concepts. Our preparedness for new challenges underscores our commitment to fostering a culture of growth and inclusivity. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword. We believe sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's a cherished responsibility. By embedding sustainability into our practices, we ensure our institution's longevity and the well-being of the communities we serve. Our Rishta extends not only to customers and shareholders, but also to the environment, society, employees, and of course, technology. The recent Refinitiv ESG score reaffirms our strong ties to the environment and society, positioning Federal Bank as the fourth amongst 62 banking service providers in India, 25th amongst 723 Indian companies, and 74th across 934 banks globally. Our CSI initiatives, such as Speak for India, Homeless Memorial Scholarships, SEED, Swayam Shakti, DREAM, have all positively impacted over 3 million people across the country. Federal Skill Academy, another of our CSR initiatives, remains steadfast in its mission to equip the youth and women with the knowledge and expertise needed to thrive in a competitive world. Through such initiatives, the Academy aims to promote inclusivity, skill enhancement, and women empowerment in the community. Additionally, we've disbursed over 3,000 crores of green loans, conserved 84,000 liters of rainwater, saved 108 lakh sheets of paper, preserved 1,074 megawatt hours of energy, and prevented 1.8 million tons of emissions, significantly contributing to the planet's well-being. Sustainability isn't just an investment in the present, it's a legacy for future generations. This commitment is deeply ingrained in our values, ensuring a lasting impact on both our institution and the world. In a world that's constantly changing, we are, as you would have noticed, focusing on focus, a fitting compass for our journey ahead. Let me assure you that each one of you, that focus on FOCUS is not just a concept, it's the heartbeat of our strategy and the wind beneath our wings. Fortifying, taking the opportunities, customer focus, unsubscribing from the ordinary, and sustainability. These drives, and this will remain our focus. In conclusion, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to every member of the Federal family for the dedication and tireless efforts that have contributed to the bank's significant achievements in the last fiscal year. Their commitment to excellence and customer-centric approach has been instrumental in driving the bank's growth and success. In closing, I remain proud to be a Federal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan, for having addressed the shareholders and also elaborating at great length the achievements for the fiscal year and also describing the focus compass for the future. Now it is time for the speaker shareholders who are already registered to express their opinions and to seek clarifications on matters related to the bank. Speaker shareholders are requested to cooperate while expressing their views so as to give sufficient time to all the shareholders who have to speak today. And now I request our partner who is organizing to kindly coordinate.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. Going ahead with the very first person on the list of speaker shareholders, we have with us Nanda Kumar D. So you have been unmuted. Can we have your question with the video turned on if possible?
How do I turn on the video?
So there would be the video option available on the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
We can hear you, Mr. Nandakumar.
Okay, I will go ahead. If you can hear me.
I think that is enough.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Respected Sri A.P. Hota, Chairman of Federal Bank, respected Sri Shyam Srinivasan, MD and CEO, members of the Board of Directors, officers of Federal Bank, my dear fellow shareholders, good morning to all of you. And let me express my gratitude for making me the first speaker shareholder in this esteemed meeting. The performance of the bank in the financial year 2023 and in the first quarter of FY 2024 has been exemplary. I take this opportunity to congratulate Sri Shyam Srinivasan, the board, and Team Federal for this commendable achievement. We, the shareholders of the bank, wholeheartedly support you. I am glad to state here that I have already voted in favor of all the resolutions proposed and recommended by the board of directors. A significant achievement in FY23 is that for the first time in the history of Federal Bank, the book value per share of the bank surpassed rupees 100. With an EPS of close to rupees 15 and a conservative dividend policy, we are plowing back almost rupees 14 to the capital of the bank. Please allow me to laud the management for the conservative dividend policy, as the importance of adequate capital cannot be overemphasized at this phase of accelerated growth for the bank. With an ROE of 15%, no capital infusion is needed from outside for a credit growth at mid-teens. Now, with the rupees 3,000 crore already raised through QIP and another 1,000 crore being raised by placement to IFC, a back-of-the-envelope calculation reveals that the bank can afford to have a credit growth of 31.5% in FY24 without diluting our CRAR. Of course, the bank has indicated that this capital is meant to take care of the growth envisaged for the next 3 to 4 years. The current scenario bestows a lot of responsibility on the bank. It may be recalled that the recent infusion of capital was at less than 9x of the EPS. It has to be ensured that this infusion does not lead to an EPS dilution. This is a real challenge considering the contraction in NIM experienced during Q4 FY23 and Q1 FY24. Sirs, please recall that in our AGMs of 2022, I had mentioned that meeting the targets set for FY23 was not difficult, but achieving the guidance of 15% ROE and 1.3% ROA set for FY24 could be a Herculean task, if not something impossible. The major challenge is to manage the various trade-offs, growth versus asset quality, increased deposits versus lower cost of funds, wholesale versus retail, secured versus unsecured, etc. Media reports and the various interviews by Sri Shyam Srinivasan and other senior executives of the bank give me confidence that they are aware of the challenges ahead. In a recent brilliant interview, the MD and CEO talked with commendable clarity that unsecureds are not as unsecured as they used to be, as borrowers in the digital era leave digital footprints everywhere. Also, it is expected that fintech partnerships in the past 3 or 4 years will gain traction in FY24 and attain critical mass. This, combined with the new strategy of branch extensions, are bound to yield the growth Federal Bank aims in the near future. We have tremendous faith in you and Team Federal, sir. The clarity of thought, capabilities of the officers, and their willingness to work hard will give us confidence that the best of Federal is yet to come. Wish you good luck in raising the rupees 8,000 crore Tier 2 bonds at an attractive coupon rate in the immediate future. Wish you good luck in making a successful IPO of FedFina in FY24. Wish you good luck in offloading the shares of Yes Bank we hold at a great price in the current financial year. Wish you good luck in getting a sizable portion of the remittances from abroad converted into deposits of the bank. Wish you good luck with the portfolios like gold and credit cards in the coming months and years. May branches being open break even from their inception onwards. Let me conclude by reminding you of something I have been seeking in the last couple of AGMs. Please go for a stock split to face value rupee 1 at the earliest. This will be a great consolation for those among us who feel that the dividend payout is less this year. I can assure you that with the initiatives I described above, the bank's initiative for scaling up the businesses, Federal Bank will not become a penny stock after such a stock split. Congratulations once again to the very good job done. Best wishes for an even greater job getting done in FY 2024. And thank you once again, Sri A.P. Hotaji, Sri Shyam Srinivasan ji, the Board of Directors, Team Federal, consisting of senior officers and employees of the bank, for burning midnight oil and treading that extra mile to maximize the wealth of we, the shareholders, and make ours the most admired bank in the country. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Proceeding with the next person on the list, we have with us Mr. Unmesh Kantilal Shah. Mr. Unmesh, you have been unmuted. We can have your question.
Can I
Yes,
be
you're very
audible?
much audible.
Yeah, I am audible.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you very much, respected Chairman, Managing Director, Distinguished Board of Directors. I am audible, no?
We can
Hello?
hear you, sir.
Yes.
I can
We
go
can
ahead, no?
hear you, but
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Yeah, distinguished Board of Directors and also fellow shareholders. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to participate in this platform to have my views on this platform. Sir, let me tell you, I voted. Congratulations, first of all, for the results. For the yearly and quarterly results are showing that bank performance is going ahead and we are on the right track. I have also voted all resolution in favor. But one thing I am totally disappointed is the dividend field, sir. I think it should be noted, with a proper objective. By saying that share price has gone up and, the dividend is, in the unanimity, and in the balancing with the share price and this thing is not the correct way to measure, and nowhere is globally followed. Share price may go up or down. We are not going to sell the share. It is just it's just like asking my family wealth or capital to sell it off. Sir, let me point it out here, especially to Mr. Shyam. Okay, there is a definite advisory from DIPAM, Department of Investment and Public Asset Management, and Gujarat has followed that model. They give 30% of the net profit or 5% of the net worth, whichever is higher. That is the this thing of the DIPAM, Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. This is the advisory. In fact, they are saying that if the profits are there, or net worth, they are asked to pay interim dividend at the end of every quarter instead of bunching them for the year end. There is also a missing spirit. The market regulator SEBI from 2016 has mandated all the 500 or top 1,000 companies to declare or disclose their dividend distribution policies, not only in the annual report, but also, in the that means, not in the letter, but also with the spirit. The DDP, that is dividend distribution policy, should include the circumstances under which the shareholders of the listed entities may or may not expect the dividend, the financial parameters that should be considered while declaring the dividend, internal and external factors that should be considered for the declaration of dividend, and so on and so forth. I can provide you this press report. If you can send someone from the bank in Mumbai, I can provide you, sir, Chairman, sir, or the Managing Director, this particular report. And this should be followed by the letter and spirit both. It's just not the letter but the spirit. The profits have gone up from 2,200 crore to 3,000 crore, and dividends you have provided less from 1.8 to 1%. It's a big hit to the shareholder view, depend on the dividend. And it is like, there are some dozens of companies in the SEBI which is already following the same. They have topped the profit to 10,000 crore, but the dividend they have increased to 1.7 or 1.4% in last 5 years. Are we to compete with them, or we have to compete with the good governance company? Sir, you please look into it. That is what my humble request to you. My second point, I have been all the year. This is the problem with the banks. I had written the day I got the notice of the annual report, annual meeting. I had sent an email to send me an annual report copy. I had sent it to the secretariat department along with the notice. So far, I have not received. And now they are sending. They will send it. But what is the use of sending an annual report after the chairman, sir, what is the use of getting annual report after the AGM? It is like asking me to come for a marriage after the reception. There's no point. Annual report we have to get in time, and this is our right which we are asking. That annual report or notice of the meeting actually once we request it for, and the hard copy should be provided. I had told last year also Samir and he sent it 2 days before. This time I have not received also. And last one more thing, last time also I requested both to Mr. Shamir and Mr. Shyam that they come very frequently in Mumbai. I am also in Mumbai, and so many years. I swear that you give me a personal audience. Let us meet once in a while. Some take out the time, but you don't have time for the shareholder. So my request to you, at least now you take out the time. I am in Mumbai, you are in Mumbai. I told Samir also, I told Shyam also. So please give us the time and give me some time audience instead of this, regularity meeting with the AGM, so that we can have one-to-one meeting. We can know each other. We are the good big shareholders of your bank. Thanking you and best wishes. Thank you very much, sir, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Going ahead with our list of registered speaker shareholders, we were supposed to have Mr. Dilnawaz Sam Variava, but unfortunately he couldn't join us today. So going ahead with the next on the list, we have Chatan Lal Bardia, joined as JL Bardia. Sir, can we have your video turned on for the question, please? Jatan sir, you have already been unmuted. Can we proceed with your question, please?
Can you hear us, Mr. Jatan?
Am I audible? Yes, I can hear.
Please go ahead, sir. Please. Yes. Please go ahead.
I am audible now.
Yes.
Good morning to Chairman, Board of Directors, and the and the shareholders present in the meeting. I am endorsing the views expressed by my earlier fellow shareholders.
Sir, Mr. Bada, we can't hear you very well. Maybe you can switch off the video or remove the earbud.
Is it okay now?
Better. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I endorse the views expressed by my earlier fellow shareholders about the dividend portion, that more of the dividends should be given to the shareholders to justify their investment. And I would take you back to the Federal Bank in the year 1974 when the Calcutta Sierra Avenue branch was opened, and I am maintaining my accounts with you since then. And at that time, the shares were given in a small quantity, say about 15,000, 20,000 rupees to the good customers of the bank. But now it is wonderful that those 15,000 have crossed to several lakhs. This is how the Federal Bank has given dividend to its investors. It's a very good bank, and we have been working and growing as the Federal Bank has been growing. This used to be our narration in the newspapers when we used to advertise for our product. That was the time when the proposal above 5 lakh used to be passed by then their chairman KP Hormes and the KP chairman GM, and PP Anthony was the key officer to deal with. Bank which started as a agricultural bank used to have most of the directors as agriculturists. The service of the bank is very good. How I came to the Federal Bank, I just tell you, in the 1974, the local Calcutta banks used to give the demand draft after 4 p.m. We deposited some amount in the Federal Bank and we went to the manager. Then manager was Matthew Varghese. We requested him that we have deposited this amount and we need the demand draft. He was very kind. He told the officer that give me the book. He got the book of the bank draft and issued the check instantly, issued the DD instantly. This is the service we got from the federal. Expect such services to be provided in future. We are presently dealing with your CR Revenue branch, the manager, the chief manager, Tanusiri and Sweetie. They are very cooperative, they are very service minded, and they are visiting for all products business to all the shareholders. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So this was Mr. Jatin. Going ahead with our next registered speaker shareholder, we have with us Mr. Manohar Lal Singhania. Sir, you have been unmuted. We are ready for your question.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I think it is good noon or good morning to Chairman, Managing Director, and all the directors and the shareholders. Of course, I am a technical person, so I will not be able to give the details as Mr. Nandakumar has been given on the balance sheet or whatever it is there. But one thing for the sure I can say is that Federal Bank, right from I am a customer of the Federal Bank, and I am operating my account for last 23 years. I have grown along with the Federal Bank for last in these years. Only thing I found that Federal Bank is very conservative. While we have another company also where our turnover is around 900 crore. But this company where I am operating at your Borivali branch, that is having only my turnover around 28-30 crores or something like that. Sometimes they visited us, sometimes they wanted our business, but I think that with HDFC and others, they were not able to compete or whatever the services HDFC at what rate they were giving, they were not able to give me. But at the same time, in general, I find that the bank is very courteous. Bank, all the managers whosoever has come, I don't want to name one, but yes, I am operating at Borivali West branch, and I found everyone very courteous. Staff is very courteous, and not only that, they value customer. But as I said, being very conservative, how you will expand if you cannot take the big business? Like I said that another company is doing 900 crore rupees business over here, and my another counterpart, I think somebody is from Indore also, Mr. Fadnis. Okay, my another company that is there in Indore, he may be knowing Moira Saria. Okay, they are doing the business of 3,600 crore rupees this year. So what I mean to say is that if you cannot take the bigger accounts and give the same kind of facilities as it is being given by the leading banks like HDFC or others, then definitely scope for the expansion for the bank is limited. I cannot comment on the financial. Of course, I am holding good amount of the share, okay, for a long time, but I cannot on the company's financial and other things because I am not, to be very frank, I have not studied those all the things. But being the customer, I can very well say that yes, definitely bank has to look into this aspect. Otherwise, in this era where you say that unsecured loan or whatever it is there, it is not a problem. But at the same time, where the security is there, where everything is there, companies, the book value is better, company is doing much better. If you are not able to take those kind of accounts, then you are working in a very limited area. That's what my opinion is. I think directors will look into this, chairman sir will look into this, a new managing director is there. Okay, they will look into this. And I'm very happy with the bank. Of course, I say that this bank is a lucky charm for me because I, as an entrepreneur, started with this bank. Okay, and right from that time, we have grown to this level. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your question. Going ahead with the next registered speaker shareholder, we have with us Paulos Perakel. I believe you have been unmuted. We can proceed with the question.
Am I audible?
Yes, Paulus.
Respected Chairman, Board of Directors, Shyam Sir, Stanley Madam, my fellow shareholders, dear federals, my dear friends. We are eagerly waiting to meet at Alva Town Hall for this year. Unfortunately, this year also it is online. I would like to congratulate board for the excellent results they have presented before us. Almost all figures are at the record position and better than the industry average. Let me discuss some selected figures. CSR allocation for the year was 43.88 crores. Of this, 2 crores is for Clean Mukannur project, our founders' village. On the expenditure side, provision have come down considerably. How it is possible? It is surprising to see employee costs coming down this year and the number of employees going up, operating expenditure and rent shows big increase. Non-interest income as a percentage of working funds have come down. Percentage of NPA from overseas business, Gift City, is on higher side. Number of frauds reported have a jump 1,298. Non-credit related frauds 23.16 crores. Income from investments in consolidated is lower than standalone. Insurance, the main contributor of fee income, bring only 113 crores. We may evaluate this figure as the business involves a great effort. Speaking about the offline meetings, I have a serious concern to raise before the board. The shareholders from the founders' native place were not able to
Paulus, I think you should switch off your video.
Hello. Oh, hello.
Yeah, I think you can switch off the video, Paulus. Then it will be clearer.
Is it clear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Is it clear
Please
now?
go ahead. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. Speak. Why the shareholders from Founders Village were not able to attend the commemorative lecture conducted at Grand Hyatt on March 17th. I came to know of the lecture being conducted only when someone forwarded the recorded video. Till this year, I have attended every lecture. Going through the video, it appeared to be a typical investors meet with the main attendance of business schools. Remember, our founders' family do not retain any sizable holding in our bank. I think it was not at all fair to leave us from the list of participants. As Shyam Sir says, we successfully completed our 4,000 crore capital issue recently. Of this, 958 crores was preferential allotment, and with this, IFC became the largest shareholder with more than 7% holding. We all know our QAP was subscribed 7 times. Then why we say IFC want to make more investments and we allow preferential allotments? It is quite natural for me to watch the big brother as he will influence all major future decisions. Even after the 2 years of IFC becoming part of us and the preferential allotment, now our shares move in the 120, 130 range. even in favorable market. We are to disinvest our subsidiary Fedfina further. Earlier, we merged private placements up to 27% on small premium. Will someone explain what were the compelling reasons for raising some share premium when parent company is rich with enough reserves? Recently, we do our advertisement campaigns in Hindi and translate it into regional languages, despite the fact that our main customer base are Malayalis. Regret to say that these translated versions do not convey or communicate at all. We are at the third place in terms of per employee business. We are honored with awards for good employee relations like most preferred workplace. At the same time, it is interesting to see the core appoint an intermediary to settle issues of the employees in the bank. I think it is for the first time in the history of the bank where the management and the employees representatives are always on good talking terms. As per the report, salaries and wages of employees and officers up to scale 3 is as per provisions of 11th bipartite settlement. I hope in the future reports we will read it as 12th bipartite settlement. ESOS was implemented in the bank with the aim of creating sense of ownership and belongingness among employees. Nowadays, ESOS have mostly become very much a part of the welcome package of C2C recruitees. These two new ESOS 2023 and ESOS 2023 bring C .64%, top level 0.92%. We can see the sense of belongingness ESOS creates in these people. Actually, it may be counterproductive as the existing employees may feel to be left aside. This year, bank has come out with a program to honor pensioners and family pensioners at nearby branches. Bank subsidizes a substantial part of medical insurance premium for us retired federals. We express our gratitude for everything done for us seniors. As stated in the report, let us strive hard to address pressing issues such as environmental sustainability and economic inequality. Proud to be a federal. Sorry for the disturbance in network. I have low network here at my home. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Going ahead with our next registered speaker shareholder, we have with us Mr. Babu George. Sir, you have been unmuted and we are ready for your question.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
A very good morning to everybody. My congratulations to the new chairman, who is the old director, as well as our managing director and other directors for their splendid performance. In this connection, I wish to request your attention about the dividend declaration. Last year, 1.80% was declared, whereas this year it is come down to 1 rupee per share. I request the director board to consider the present scenario in our country and increase the dividend rates. If it is not possible at present, please declare an interim dividend at the time of Deepavali, because Most of the directors and customers are from North India and Bombay. This will be an added advantage to the bank, and also consider issuing bonus shares in the near future. Regarding the NBA, figures are also not good. Last year it was 655.28. This year it is 661.55. There is also increase, and for taxation 680.88, and there are lot of penalty imposed by Reserve Bank of India amounting to 630.65, and number of instances of deficiency in not adhering to Reserve Bank instructions is also on the increase. Because our staff and officers and management team are very excellent, very good people. But what happens? Please explain. Moreover, in the matter of CSR funds, there is a figure shown. CSR funds unspent 3.29, and the Hormish Memorial Fund 39.26. Kindly clarify. Total NBA comes to 41,837. Provision 691.80. And also, I am very much worried about the frauds. Number of frauds are increased. It is also maybe clarified. And I am attending the 50th annual general body of, I am becoming a shareholder. I am a senior citizen of 72 years. Perhaps I may be the second Malayali who spoke in this meeting. I remember late Honorable Mr. Urmis, former chairman, and his brother, K.P. Charyan, then general manager, came to my house when I was young and meet my father and asked to invest in Federal Bank shares, and we are all invested and we are continuing. Mr. Chairman's legacy, Mr. Late Honorable Hormish legacy is very done a lot of things for this highway-based bank now spread all over India. And please consider all the shareholders and well-wishers of the bank belongs to North Parur, Alway, then Angamali, Mukannur, all other places. They are still holding the shares. Their attachment to the bank is very high esteem. I again congratulate our MD, who already completed 10 years as MD of Federal Bank. I hope in the future we can show very good results, and consider my request for giving more benefits to shareholders as well as to the staff. Your decision to grant tax insurance benefit to retired employees and the officers is very commendable and appreciated. Remembering all the staff is very important. Their blood and sweat is the foundation of this great bank. In this connection, I have another person, our North Barur branch manager, one lady manager, Srimati Ranjini, her services are exemplary and commendable. She is a very good asset for the bank. I wish her all success in her career and in കേരളത്തിലെ കേരള സർക്കാർ മലയാള ഭാഷ എല്ലാം മലയാളത്തിലാക്കണമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അതിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ സ്വിച്ചിങ് ഓവർ ടു മലയാളം ആൻഡ് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഓണാശംസകൾ നേരുന്നു. ഐ വിഷ് everybody from North India as well as from South India a very good ഓണം. ഓണാശംസകൾ നേരുന്നു. എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി നന്ദി പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് എൻ്റെ വാക്കുകൾ ചുരുക്കുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Going ahead with our next speaker shareholder, we have with us Mr. Saket Kapoor. Mr. Saket, you have been unmuted. We are ready for your question.
Yeah. Namaskar, Srinivasan sahab. Namaskar, Chairman.
Namaskar, sir. Yes.
Sir, ji sir. Thank you, sir, firstly for this opportunity. And technology has enabled investors to join from the nook and corner of the country also, and also preferably any part of the world if it's feasible. So I applaud the MCA for continuing with this facility, and this is probably my fourth AGM which I would have attended, or maybe first or second, I don't remember, but it's indeed a good opportunity, a good platform. So I would request through your understanding that this facility should be continued as not only for the COVID as a reason, but also for broader participation. So we hope that a proper delegation would be made from not only from our bank but from other listed companies also in favor of how the investors' participation can increase with minimum cost. Coming to the banks, Fortune sir, I remember last time in the AGM, Mr. Srinivasan sir very categorically mentioned that this would be a year wherein we will be rising from the lower profit to the higher profit regime, and he promised that the अच्छे दिन आपको दिखेंगे in terms of the numbers, and I applaud the team for guiding correctly to your investors and delivering a very good set of numbers. But now at these high interest regime, Mr. Srinivasan, how confident are you that we would be able to maintain our NIMs going ahead, since the liability franchise also will get repriced and has also been repriced, and now with Fed speaking for this higher interest rate regime to continue longer, I think so it may point to better prospects for the banking industry, as the higher interest rate and their transition would definitely will cement your position on better NIMs. So if you could give some, sir, although sir, you are speaking to us on a quarterly basis, guiding us, the entire team is there. So not only you, sir, the entire team has to be thanked for that. But any other thought you would like to share, especially on the NIMs part, the ROE front, the NPA? How are you seeing this personal loan becoming a cause of concern for the banks? Sir, I won't be taking much of the time since we get adequate opportunity to speak to you. But give me one more understanding, sir. This question is directed to Srinivasan sir, and also I would request the board's attention also here. Mr. Srinivasan, in the last con call, you did point it out, the earlier speaker also spoke on lowering of the dividend this year. Sir, I mark this point, lowering of dividend. We would be sidelined as the only bank in the listed space which have lowered, I repeat, lowered the dividend payout to its investors. And the analogy provided by you, Mr. Srinivasan, particularly to me, did not went down well. Sir, you mentioned that the stock price have improved, so we can reduce the dividend. In my wisdom, sir, maybe, sir, I'm a very small minority shareholder, but in my wisdom, I cannot understand how did you correlate it to the point that dividend payout and stock prices are correlated, sir. So I did ask you there also, but since in the paucity of time and not the right platform, but here, sir, our interests are hampered. And how can you justify this point, sir? Firstly, that on better profitability, you went for capital raising, you have adequate CRAR ratio, you have the best balance sheet, and at the time of declaring dividend, you lowered it, sir. And also the wisdom of the board to please answer this fact for this. This is a listed bank, and we minority shareholders' rights should be protected. So make us understand this fact of lowering of dividend, especially in a particular year where the banks have posted good profit and the board and the banking system guiding toward better numbers. Had we been in an year where the next year would have been tough for us, we would have understand that reserving cash would have been would have made good sense. But Mr. Srinivasan, you are guiding us for better exit at NIMS at 3.2 or 3.25, ROA above 1.2, and then giving us a guidance for FY26 also on a higher base, and then lowering the dividend, and then giving us the understanding that stock price आपके बढ़ गए हैं, इसीलिए हम उसको compensate करने के लिए dividend low कर रहे हैं. So very, very strange answer, sir. Very sorry to use hard words, but it is my interest as a minority shareholder which got hampered because of the lowering of dividend and this is not a single man decision. It is the decision of the board. So would request the board members' wisdom to come into to put into thought of why considering lower dividend. Also, sir, it is a tax incidence proposition. Many of the investors are happy that if you pay lower, we will be paying lower tax. But lowering it from previous year did not went down good, sir. And I don't know, sir, whether other investors, you are attending so many investor conferences, you went for a successful QIP issue, did even bother to mention. But we mentioned you, earlier speaker also mentioned. I hope, sir, there should be some rationale behind it, and would love to hear from you. But I thank firstly the transformation, sir, under you that cannot be negated with this with my thought. Over a period of time, you have built an institution that will test the time going ahead. And now coming to the shareholder value creation idea, sir, how do we shareholder get now convinced that when our dividends are not at your mercy to be reduced at any moment on an ad hoc basis, why should investors remain committed if even dividend cannot be protected? So what's the message, sir, for us, sir? That is my point. Is we know the banking sector is going through a good phase, but our bank will not get the real value if these are our policies going at. This is my personal view, and I am a minority shareholder, and I reserve my right to be wrong. So I seek your understanding on how will you create value for us if these are the steps the board has taken to lower our value in terms of dividend payout. Please do consider and make us understand, because P to book, I think so we are trading at 1 time or closer to 1. Our ambition may be closer to 2 going ahead. But on your path to reaching 2, what steps are you taking where our stock is also get revalued, sir? We investors have invested our money for 2, capital appreciation and dividend payout. So when are we going to be adequately rewarded? These are my points, and I thank the secretarial department. I thank the people who are running the show for conducting the AGM. Very diligent person they are, sir, and they keep on communicating to Mr. Jacob, and then one madam also called me up. They keep track of things. This is very good. This is extremely good for investing community that you have a good team. But again, sir, please do answer to my points. and hope to join you again in the next con call, sir. Patiently waiting to hear from you. Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan. Thank you to the board. Thank you to every people providing me an opportunity to speak here. And all the best to you, sir. आपका स्वास्थ्य अच्छा रहे. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Going ahead with our previously called in speaker shareholder, he couldn't join us before. Can we have Dilnawaz Sam Variava? Mr. Dilnawaz, you have been unmuted.
Thank you. Good afternoon and greetings to the Chairman, Managing Director, Directors and fellow shareholders. Though I am a shareholder of the Federal Bank, it is only a small part of my holdings, and I am therefore not speaking as a shareholder, but actually as a customer of the Federal Bank, because as far as my banking transactions are concerned, the Federal Bank is my preferred banker, even though my office is located on a road where all the head offices and main Mumbai offices of all the major banks are located. Mumbai Samachar Marg next to the stock exchange. I would like to tell you very briefly why Federal Bank is a preferred banker for us. My company, the Bharat Flooring Tile Company, pioneered the cement tile company business in India as part of the Swadeshi movement 100 years ago, and with a high commitment to quality, integrity, service, and innovation. But about 50 years ago, in the 1970s, the whole profile of Mumbai changed from people who were building their own homes and wanted quality and integrity and service and innovation, to builders and developers who were looking for low-cost items of poor quality, and therefore the company went into major losses in the 1970s. And that is when we first met the Federal Bank. We had to retrench staff, and we gave half our office to the Federal Bank against a loan and adjusted against rent. And they continued to be our tenants until 2016. But they continue to be our bankers even now. Not only from the company point of view, but personally for myself and also for the various trusts that I handle. And the reason for this is that although the managers have changed, many different managers have come over the years, I think that the kind of a culture of quality in service has remained very high. And interestingly, my mother was customer number one of the Federal Bank Mumbai branch in the fort. It was at that time the head office in Mumbai. And I continue for 50 years to be also a customer of the Federal Bank. So I would like to just, on this occasion of the annual general meeting, since I've been given an opportunity to speak, to express my appreciation for all those who have provided their services to our company, to our family, and to our trusts, solving problems when they arose, extending help when it was needed. And the association continues. I have only one suggestion, and I think this is true for all banks and mutual funds and so on. There is the back office who we can never see, and one has to deal through the branch staff, and that being located so far away in Kerala, the kind of delays that sometimes occur are are a bit of a problem. So I'm sure with technology, those gaps in time can be very easily bridged, and they will be. And the best part is that the local branch management is also always most helpful in trying to facilitate work. So we are 100 years old. Our association with Federal Bank is 50 years old. And I wish you all the very best for your next 50 years also. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So this brings us to the end of all the questions from all the registered speaker shareholders. And we would like to go over to Chairman Sir and the board members to answer the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, speaker shareholders, for your valuable comments, observations, suggestions, and questions. Now I request Managing Director and CEO to kindly respond.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you all shareholders. As always, very good to hear from all of you. Very sharp and perceptive insights, and we take on board all inputs, compliments and observations, and certainly work on them. I'll broadly summarize. You were all very kind in complimenting our performance, which we are very grateful and certainly committed to doing that or even better in the period ahead. You were kind in complimenting our entire staff in different locations. I did, if you notice in my speech, to thank our staff and sort of once again I echo your inputs, and certainly that is the wind beneath our wings. And we'll certainly invest in making sure that experience, which is the philosophy of the bank of digital at the fore, human at the core, is sort of deeply ingrained in what we do. And you may notice, in fact, I think Madam Dilnas beautifully said, what we are trying to do is Rishta Aapse Sirf Apps and AI. So we are looking at the human element very intensely in the newly digital world. So thank you on account of that. In terms of observations, which many of you did, I have tried to classify them into three principal areas. I'll try and address them. The first was around, you heard even amongst the 8 shareholders, some argued that the dividend should be lower. Some of you argued that the dividend should be higher. And the bank has a very clearly laid out dividend payout policy, which we adhere to. I did hear Mr. Saket, mention very emphatically about dividend payout. Sir, we've kept very consistent with our dividend payout policy. The observation you made that we were the lowest is probably wrongly advised. There are only 3 banks that have paid more. Many others have paid less. But that's never the competition. The issue is in a year where we are raising capital, so we have to be thoughtful about how much of incremental payout we do and then how much of dividend capital we raise. So the board, after deep consideration and deliberation, came out and ensured that we are not stopping our dividend payout, but we have to be thoughtful about how much dividend we pay out at a time when we're going out and raising capital. But rest assured, our dividend payout is consistent. We have a track record of having paid dividend across all years except the 1 year during COVID when the regulators advised banks not to pay. We are very focused and consistent about our principles of how we pay our dividend, and rest assured that in the periods ahead, you will be richly rewarded through our performance and both appreciation on the stock, which is what we can perform is get the net worth up, which is what we will focus. Multiplier will follow by the fact that we're performing consistently, and the dividend payout is a very established policy which we will adhere to. But the only data point I wanted to share, there were banks that paid way lower. While it's never a competition, our aspiration is to make sure that our shareholders are richly rewarded. That's about dividend. I heard shareholder Babu talk about NPS. Maybe, sir, you were looking at the absolute numbers. As a percentage, everything has improved materially. And you heard in my speech, as also in the chairman's speech, as also in our quarterly results, we give attention to our NPA improvement. And I'm happy to suggest at this point in time, the balance in the big business mix that we follow is guaranteeing that the credit quality of Federal Bank will be absolutely top quartile. We are, I think one of the gentlemen pointed out, we are conservative at some points in time. And I'm happy to be conservative because in a banking system, it is good to be conservative and play the long run than to be sort of yo-yoing in the near term and then face a problem much later. So I'm answering two questions. One is, our conservativeness is appropriate for the occasion and the environment we are operating in, and certainly our priority is to ensure that the credit quality of the bank is consistent. Here I may want to point out, over the last 13 years or 15 years, Federal Bank is one of the few banks that have never crossed gross NPA of 3.5%, where even the best banks in the country had 10, 12, 13%. At the industry level, credit quality, we will rank in the top quartile, and I'm happy, and the board is very adamant that the quality of credit defines the success of a franchise, and we're happy to do that, sir. So you may want to look at that number, not in absolute, but in percentage terms. The denominator is growing materially. The other observations were around the NIM. It has been a year when when the funding costs have started going up quite substantially. Banks enjoyed a period where the credit repricing happens ahead of the deposit repricing, but that has turned since in the last 2 quarters. You may have noticed in Q1 results, our fall in NIM, I repeat, our fall in NIM was lower than the fall in NIM of any bank in the country. And that is because of the model we pursue. And I have guided in all our investor calls that our NIMs for the financial year 24 will be somewhere in the 325 or so, which we are reasonably confident we will deliver. And you may see the pattern of that. Certainly in the first half will be slightly muted, and the second half it will pick up. So our guidance for NIMs, ROA and ROE have been put out at the beginning of the financial year. We believe we will be consistent to those guidance we have put out, and all efforts by everybody in the bank, if the environment doesn't turn very adverse, we should be in a position to deliver on those. In fact, in our capital raise roadshows, we made the same commitments, which is out there on the website, and all our investors who have come in have understood our portfolio, have understood what we are likely to be delivering this financial year. And the team is very riveted on that as the objective to make sure that FY24 continues to be on the growth trajectory that we have had and deliver on the NIM, ROA and ROE outcomes. Lastly, there was an observation, I think by one of them, on the expenses for employees. Just to clarify, expenses for employee did not go down. It was only a timing issue. The previous year, you may recall, in fourth quarter, we upfronted a large part of the pension cost. In this year, therefore, that was not there. But underlying structural costs have been improving, and we'll continue to keep that going. So all in all, thank you very much for all your observations. All of them have been noted. The bank has a very clear-cut dividend policy. The performance metrics are measured consistently by the board, and we are reasonably confident of ensuring all our guidelines are well served. And once again, a big thank you. And we, through our investor relations team, are available for all conversations and happy to address any queries that come up even outside of the AGM. Thank you very much. Good wishes.
Thank you. As we come towards the closure of the meeting, Company Secretary will tell us the number of shareholders attending this meeting.
168.
168 shareholders are right now in the meeting. And we had the privilege of listening to 8 speakers amongst them. And in thanking, I would like to extend my wholehearted thanks to the colleagues on the board for their sincere cooperation for the smooth conduct of the AGM. I also extend wholehearted thanks to the valuable customers of the bank, the shareholders, and the employees for their support. Wishing you all the very best for the bank. I now invite Executive Director Shalini Warrior to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Respected Chairman, Mr. A.P. Hota, sir, MD and CEO, Mr. Shyam Srinivasan, Honorable Directors on the board, esteemed shareholders, valued members of the Federal Bank family, ladies and gentlemen. As the 92nd Annual General Meeting of the Bank comes to a successful conclusion, it is my honor and privilege to propose this vote of thanks. With the patronage and support of our shareholders, customers, and employees, your bank has delivered a great performance in a year that was full of unforeseen challenges and obstacles particularly for the banking sector. A creditable achievement, indeed, about which all of us can be proud of. It is mainly the support and patronage of shareholders that gives us the confidence for the future. On behalf of the bank and on my own behalf, I express my sincere thanks to the shareholders for their unstinted support. I also take this opportunity to welcome and thank our new shareholders who have brought with them incredible strength and repute to the bank's balance sheet. Our customers are our strength and our motivation. Many of our shareholders, as you heard today, are also our customers. The existence of the enterprise is because of its customers and for its customers. To all our customers spread across the states in India and across the countries globally, I extend my heartfelt thanks for patronizing the bank through the various challenges we have encountered. Now it is my pleasant privilege to thank all those who have been instrumental in making this meeting a success. I especially thank all those who actively participated in the meeting and raised pertinent queries. The meeting is being presided over by our chairman, Mr. A.P. Hota, a person who has helped to execute a series of reforms in the India payment solution space. His commitment and leadership has been invaluable. On behalf of all shareholders, directors, employees, and all those present in the meeting, thank you, sir, for your heartfelt contribution to the bank. Our MD and CEO, Mr. Shyam Srinivasan, has been leading this organization for 13 years, a period that is symbolized as a yuga in our culture. In Shyam Yuga, our bank has been run with a missionary zeal, and under his leadership, our bank has stood firm on the pillars of transparency, openness, and best practices in everything that we do. He is determined and dedicated to make this bank equally attractive for shareholders, customers, employees, regulators, and the society. The excellent results which we all witness now is a reflection of his relentless pursuit to take the bank to greater heights. Under his leadership, the bank has expanded from 700 odd branches to nearly 1,388 branches and is counted amongst the top private sector banks in top-line growth and profitability, while at the same time upholding heritage, culture, and the values laid down by our late founder, Mr. K.P. Hormus. His vision to make our bank as the most admired bank for all stakeholders is a path on which the entire Team Federal is committed to tread. I thank you, Shyam, for your leadership and wish you a long and more successful innings ahead.
Thank you.
Directors on our board have rich and varied experience in governance, regulation, banking, accounting, administration, risk management, payment and settlement systems, international banking, MSME, agriculture, legal framework, information technology, and many more. And they bring with them to the board the highest level of professionalism. For their guidance and contribution, thank you very much, Madam and Sirs. It is our employees at all levels who build the bank through their hard work. To all the employees of the bank, and particularly to those who have toiled to make through these difficult times, to put in exemplary efforts to ensure the normal running of day-to-day banking operations and servicing of our customers, I say thank you. I also thank all those who have worked hard to ensure that the various requirements prior to and during the conduct of this particular AGM were delivered in a smooth and compliant manner. Thank you. I thank the ex-directors and retired employees who are participating in this digital meeting. The bank has been built on the strong foundation laid by each one of you, for which we will remain eternally grateful. On behalf of the shareholders, board of directors, management team, and all officials and employees of the bank, I express my sincere gratitude to all the auditors for a smooth yet highly professional conduct of audits. I take this opportunity to specially thank our statutory central auditors, Messrs. Varma and Messrs. Borka and Majumdar, who have all throughout maintained a very high level of professionalism and quality in conducting the audits and limited reviews of the quarterly financial statements of the bank. I take this opportunity to welcome our new auditors and look forward to working with them in the coming years. Our bank has been receiving good encouragement from the press and media, and I thank all members of the press and media who have been covering our bank through the year, and particularly thank those of the media who are present here today. I appreciate the good work done by the teams from NSDL and Epitome Corporation Private Limited for making this function successful, and I thank them. Once again, a big thank you to all of you for all that you have done and continue to do for the bank. We remain eternally grateful to you. I also take this opportunity to wish all of you celebrating the festival of Onam a very happy and prosperous Onam. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you all for attending the meeting, and I hereby declare the proceedings closed. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, dear members. As instructed by the scrutinizer, we request all the members participating in the AGM to please cast their votes. Please note that the e-voting will be open for the next 30 minutes, starting now. Also, a 30 minutes countdown timer would be displayed. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.